So today on Hollywood Buzzing, we're diving into something that made waves across the basketball world. And honestly, it's hard to believe CaitlinClark actually said this out loud. Do I think she meant it? Absolutely. Was she right? In many ways, yes. But saying out loud, and in public, in front of one of the most respected names in the sport, like SueBird, that takes guts. From glowing memories of Iowa to a scathing observation about WNBA teammates, CaitlinClark pulled no punches. Whether she was voicing hard truths or lighting a fuse depends on your perspective. Either way, she dropped something that fans, critics, and fellow players are still talking about. Let's get into it. The moment that really turned heads was when Caitlin admitted that, even now, playing at the professional level, she's often stunned that some players don't seem to know the basic movements on the court. She didn't say it with bitterness. She wasn't throwing anyone under the bus. But she said it plainly, clearly, and with enough detail to make people sit up and pay attention. First, she praised her college coach, Lisa Blutter, for creating a system so structured and clear that it felt like instinct. Every action had a reaction. Drive this way, cut that way, rotate here. There was no ambiguity. Caitlin even joked that it was like being positively brainwashed, that everything became second nature because it was drilled so consistently. She described it like muscle memory on autopilot. But then she contrasted it with the pro game, where, to her shock, that same structure often disappears. Where teammates seem unsure of where to be, when to move, or how to space the floor. And the kicker? She wasn't even specifically criticizing Indiana. She implied it's something she sees across the entire league. That's what turned this from a simple reflection into a full-on statement. Translation: there are WNBA players who don't know what to do when the ball is in motion. And for someone as precise as Caitlin, that's maddening. Think about it. You're running a play, expecting someone to cut or set a screen, and instead, they're just standing still. We've seen it. She's thrown passes into empty space. She's made reads that didn't connect. And sure, on the stat sheet, that goes down as her turnover. But the real mistake? Miscommunication, lack of movement, and a system that, in her words, isn't always up to par. There are receipts too, like that game last season against Minnesota. Final minute, down 3. Caitlin drives expecting her wing to slash for the easy look. Instead, the wing freezes, ball goes out, game slips away. Or the game against Chicago. She signals for a clear out, but her teammate stays put, clogging the lane and killing the drive. These moments aren't one-offs. They add up, and she's clearly tired of pretending otherwise. To be clear, Caitlin's not asking for genius-level reads. She's just asking for fundamentals. Basic awareness, movement, and reaction. Stuff that should be automatic at the pro level. She's not claiming to be perfect, either. She openly admitted she's still learning, adjusting to the pace, the size, the physicality of the league. She's had rough shooting nights, forced possessions, and has looked overwhelmed at times. But her point remains. There's a gap between what she was taught and what she's now surrounded by, and it's bothering her. She also hinted at the deeper issues, like how college coaches have total control over their programs. They pick the roster, run the system, and build around their star. There's time to teach, time to drill. In the pros, it's chaos by comparison. Rushed camps, rotating teammates, tight schedules. And coaching, many of the best minds stay in the NCAA, where salaries are higher and the job comes with more stability. She even pointed out how few WNBA coaches make top-tier salaries, with only a couple hitting the $1 million mark. That imbalance in coaching quality, it trickles down, which is why, in her view, you get elite players surrounded by others who sometimes play like it's a Sunday pickup game. It's a harsh critique, but one that a lot of fans have whispered for years. Caitlin just said it with a mic in front of her. But here's where it gets complicated. When a star says something like this, even without naming names, people start guessing. Fans pull clips. Analysts start pointing fingers. And inside the locker room, you better believe people notice. Some teammates might quietly agree with her, but would never dare say it out loud. Others? They'll be fuming, because no matter how politely it's said, no one likes being told they don't know what they're doing, especially not by someone younger, newer, or seen as getting all the headlines. But Caitlin knew what she was doing. She didn't blurt this out in a post-game rant. She said it calmly mid-conversation, like a thought she'd been sitting with for months. That level of honesty, delivered without anger, hits different. It's not emotional, it's observational, and it stings because it's probably true. The reaction online was immediate. Sports networks picked it up. Blogs had headlines by morning. And social media, divided as always. Half the people were saying, "Finally, someone said it," while the other half were warning, she just fractured her locker room. Rival fans chimed in, too. Some invited her to their team. Others rolled their eyes. And behind all of that noise is a quiet tension in Indiana. Because the real test is what happens next. Do we see more movement in their offense? Do teammates step up? Or do the mistakes continue and the tension grow? Because if nothing changes, then this all becomes just another headline. More talk, no results. But if things improve, if the offense clicks, then this moment becomes something more. A turning point. A leader calling for more and getting it. Caitlin's critics say she's arrogant. That she's stepping on toes before earning her stripes. That she hasn't made the playoffs and shouldn't be pointing fingers. But her supporters say this is what leadership looks like. Not fake positivity, not polished PR answers. Just someone who wants to win and is willing to ruffle feathers to do it. Either way, it's bold. And it could define how she's seen across the league. Is she the demanding leader who elevates her team? Or the outspoken star who talks more than she delivers? Time will tell. The timing of all this also matters. Caitlin's no longer a rookie. The honeymoon is over. The expectations are higher. The patience is thinner. And she's acting like someone who knows it. She's not tiptoeing anymore. She's challenging the culture, not just of her team, but of the league. The bigger picture here is coaching standards, player development, accountability. Things that have long needed a spotlight. And now, like it or not, Caitlin's the one holding the flashlight. Will some players resent her for it? Probably. But if you're looking at the long game, maybe that discomfort is necessary. Because while Caitlin may have said the quiet part out loud, it's not like it was a secret. The fans have seen it. The analysts have noted it. She just confirmed it. And once that's out there, it can't be ignored anymore. For now, the ball's in Indiana's court, literally and figuratively. If practices get sharper, if roles become clearer, if the movement improves, then maybe Caitlin was just saying what everyone needed to hear. If not, then this becomes another chapter in the saga of a superstar still learning how to lead in a league that's not always ready for directness. Either way, CaitlinClark didn't just speak her mind. She shook the table. And for better or worse, people are finally paying attention. What side are you on? Was it necessary truth or reckless honesty? Stick around, Hollywood buzzing. We're just getting started.